my love. Disregard the obvious. Disregard the obvious.
What is going on, everybody?
Welcome.
My name is Raul.
And my name is Premio.
What a special honor it is bringing you on to the show. Yasha, thank you so very much.
I appreciate it.
This is actually a spontaneous recording. I normally record my episodes on the weekends. Today's Thursday. A beautiful Thursday. And you actually just happened to drop by from Alaska. Is that right?
That is correct.
You were telling me. And thank you for making time, Yasha. Actually, I actually forced Yasha to be on the podcast today. But
I was willing.
But Yasha is always down. Thank you, bro.
I'm always down. Always, brother.
Break my shit.
Watch out for the cables.
No, but thank you, Yasha, for being here. Actually, we'll do our best to just run a normal podcast episode while you're on, and then just if you have any questions, bro, let me know, because I'm sure you saw the intro. You couldn't hear it because the same monitor thing we were talking about earlier. You can't hear it because I turned off the monitor where we can hear it. So, but in the actual video recording, you'll be able to hear the song that I put behind.
Oh, I can't wait to see this.
So this can be I'll send you the link and everything. But again, guys, my name is Raul. Thank you so much for joining us. If you guys have something to do, if you guys have a family to take care of, get away from YouTube. Stop watching the video. Go take care of that.
Go take care of your families, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll be here. YouTube's gonna be, the internet will be here for a while, and that's a fact.
We're gonna be viral for quite some time.
Amen. Amen to that. Alrighty, Yasha. This is the episode. This is actually episode 44 of my podcast.
Episode 44.
Episode 44.
Wow, dude, awesome.
Yeah, I've been recording an episode every week since the start of the year.
Every week?
Every week.
Wow, that's impressive.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
I love the grind, man.
Thanks, man. There's 52 weeks in a year. That's what I think about, bro.
52.
And so I'm like, all right, I got to do something at least consistently once a week. And this is it. And I've been doing my best to record once, but I wanted to push myself to record more and just make more content, especially right now, because if you don't take action now, then you're just gonna look back and oh man, I wish I took action back then. I wish I'd done something. That's why I'm doing this.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you for being on, man. I'll be asking you a few questions. Of course, there's this one question I told you about at the beginning before we started rolling, and just think about that. But
thinking about it, yeah.
But for now, is there anything you want to share? Is there anything actually? I was hoping you could shout yourself out. I know you do music. I know you do production. I know you do a lot of visual art stuff. So if you don't mind sharing a little bit about that, that'd be awesome, man.
Yeah, of course. Shout out really quick to Raul for letting me on the podcast here. Super excited. Thank you again so much.
Of course.
And I'm Premio. I do. I'm a producer, artist. I do anything from FL Studio, Ableton, and Band Labs, everything like that. I record a lot. I love doing visual effects too, as far as graphic design and stuff like that for video effects. And yeah, just all my hobbies and playing guitar and singing.
You are quite a phenomenal guitar player, by the way, Yasha. I want you to know that, man. There's very few people that I look at that are in my life, and I'm like, wow, I have to get as good as that. I have to work hard.
You're amazing, brother.
Thanks.
You're amazing.
I appreciate it. No, but you are phenomenal, bro. I want you to know this.
I appreciate that.
Every time we get to jamming, I'm like, actually, I remember you telling me one time that every time we linked up, we played guitar, and that was the only time you ever played guitar.
Yeah. My guitar was great. It was in my storage unit though, because my amp was broken, and so I hadn't got it fixed just yet. So then, every time I hung out with you, you showed up with two guitars. This man shows up with two guitars, one for me and one for him. A legend.
I told you the story about how me and Kwame met, right? Did I?
I don't think so, no.
It's a pretty short story, but there was a show in Chula Vista. I was the only guy there with a guitar, and it was at the Chula Vista Brewery. So I pull up to the bar, and I have my guitar there, and then Kwame's like, hey, are you performing tonight? And I'm like, nope.
You're like, nope, I'm playing along. You're like, I'm not performing, I'm playing with them.
I had the intuition to think, well, I'm sure maybe after the show there might be some jamming, so I was like, fuck it, we'll just jam, and it happened to be pretty fortunate for me to just find Kwame and just people to jam out with, and that was a short story, but dude, actually thinking about that, I am somebody that really takes the guitar everywhere I go. There's actually two guitars in my car right now as we speak.
He was ready, chat, he was ready. He was like, Yasha's coming to San Diego. Premio is coming to San Diego. Let's go. We're gonna jam, bro.
You're one of the few musical friends or friends that do music with a passion, bro. That's something that I want to talk about in this video. Just people, I think, forget about what they're passionate about sometimes, and sometimes they just need a friend or even a something to look at to remind them of that. I don't know if you have any like words of wisdom about that. Or, like, I don't know if there's been a point where you've been like losing your passion about something and you're like, hey,
Yeah,
this is what got me out of it.
of course. Yeah, music is one of those things for me personally that, like, no matter what I'm going through, good or bad, life or experience, maybe I want to talk to somebody about something. And whether or not I have somebody to reach out to, music's one of those things where I can physically, emotionally, and verbally express those emotions through my music. And whether it's happy or sad afterwards, I always feel way more positive. I feel like I'm in a really good mood. And it makes me really passionate about music because it really takes me to places that, meeting the man, the myth, the legend, Raul, and a lot of other people I've met also, amazing people. And so music's been one of those things that's really been a big part of my life. It's somewhere that I can call home and always bring into good energy.
Love that, man. I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Yasha.
Yeah,
There's a new friend I've acquired. His name's Martin, bro. I would love for you to meet him. Martin, he's a phenomenal bass player, guitar player, overall crazy artist. And he actually was on my podcast a couple episodes ago.
Really?
And yeah, he was,
I love that.
He just pulled up. He's like, "Hey, you want to record?" I'm like, "Let's do it, dude." And he ended up taking action right away. And it was awesome. But he mentioned in his video, like, no matter how old you are or no matter who you are, you should still strive to play music. It's never too late to play music. It's never too late to pick up the instrument and just learn something new on the guitar or learn something new on any sort of musical instrument. And like that was his message. Like, hey, it's never too late. You can do it.
Absolutely.
That was his actual last message, actually, that he left behind on Earth.
It's never too late.
It's never too late.
Yeah, I love that.
So I've had all sorts of answers. Like, one answer was like, "Hey guys, I'm going to Mars. I'm out of here later."
Yeah,
and one was like, "Guys, life is super simple and so beautiful." It could be like a spectrum of those two.
I love that.
Whatever your answer is, it's never right or wrong. It's your answer, bro.
And kind of going back to of like you're never too young or never too old to do music. Even this is a beautiful, beautiful short story I'll share with you.
Please do.
So when I was leaving my hometown, we went on the ferry, and it's about a 6-hour ferry ride or so. And I sat down at the top of the ferry just to, lay down and relax and kind of kill some time, maybe take a nap. And this elderly man came up and pulled out a violin out of a case. Just because we were kind of in an area not like inside the boat but outside, so I think he was, he could play and feel more expressive and free to do what he wanted to do. And so he pulls his violin out, and he was an amazing artist, really, really good. And I was sitting there enjoying, loving hearing it. And then this woman, probably in her early mid-20s, shows up, and she pulls out a violin. And I guess they had met each other, and he just said like, "Hey, I play the violin if you want to play the violin." And so then they played together, and they started doing like dueling violins, and both of them were just incredible. And it just kind of went to show that like young or older, like as long as you still have the passion for it, it's something you should never give up.
That's an awesome story. I wish I was there. man. I don't know
I'll
if
show
you've
you
seen
a video later.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I got a
please do.
video.
That story reminded me of this video I saw. It's basically there was a musician, like a phenomenal, like I think also a violinist. He was out in the street just like busking basically.
Right.
Got zero attention. But this violinist happens to be one of the best in the world. Like classically trained, like first class, like S rank musician. Like got like no attention. Well, I think he was in a subway or something, right? A subway and like out busking. And like people were just walking by, not even like caring about him so much. Like I mean, they were intrigued, right? I mean, people are sometimes curious. Sometimes people are like, "Oh, what the fuck is he doing?"
Maybe they'll look and be like, but they weren't stopping to really sit down and listen.
Maybe they'd throw some coins in the little like busking, cup or whatever.
Right.
But but like, and then you fast forward, and then it's the same guy who sold out this whole like not stadium, but this whole like orchestral like what's it Coliseum, or like this whole like he like sold out the whole theater. He performed it like for a sold out theater. The same guy, the same violinist, and the only difference was where he was at. Like because he was in the street, his value diminished like completely. But once he was where he needed to be, in front of an audience that wanted to see him, paid to see him, like that message kind of like resonated with me. Like you have to pick your battles. Know where you have to be, And that story of like that you just said about the ferry, like that's a weird spot to just play violin. Honestly, I've never even thought about somebody playing on.
In that too, I feel like he was doing it just to have fun. It wasn't an attention-seeking thing. It wasn't something
Beautiful.
like that. But like, because there's only like, like two people back there just laying down, not even paying attention at first until he started playing, and everybody's heads kind of popped up, and everybody started looking, and go like, she's actually pretty good. And then next thing you know, she showed up and she started playing the violin and singing.
Wow.
And she had an incredible voice too. So it was like, it was really cool. But the coolest part was not just how like in tune with each other and them making music together. It was also like within the time they were playing together, about 8 new people showed up that weren't even over there. They were just coming to look at the sights, look at the mountains, the ocean, everything, and just turned over and was like, do I hear violin? And they came over, and next thing you know, there's people clapping for them and everything. Wow. And it was just like, being an artist myself, like being in that moment where you're playing, you're not really seeking attention, but you're just doing your passion, doing what you love, and just watching other people show up and appreciate what you're doing and kind of like praise you for it, and also cheer you on and say, I want to keep hearing you guys play, you're great, everything like that. It's a whole experience. That experience for me makes performing what performing is. It's like I'm doing it not just for me but also for other people as well. So it's kind of it's seeing artists perform and go live, or just doing it for, their own personal benefit, is so incredible too, especially when everybody comes together.
I don't know about you, Yasha, but there's this thing in my brain.
I don't know either.
No, there's this thing like, there's people out there that sell out the Madison Square Garden on a regular. They're just like, it's just a regular Saturday for them.
Right.
A lot of people, like, they get into this zone in their mind that's like, oh man, I gotta work hard to do that. I gotta do this. I gotta do all these things. And they're like forcing their way to get to that spot. But for some people, it's just so effortless,
Right.
And I kind of want to get into that like zone and into that state of flow where I'm like, all right, I have a show next Saturday. I actually do have a show here in Poway, over by like actually near the AutoZone area where I'm going to show you.
Oh, that's awesome.
So right in that little area.
When?
And next Saturday, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. So I'll be playing some music there with this new group that I joined, man.
Oh, right on.
And it's a paid gig. It's like a full on, like, it's gonna be an awesome time. But like some people think like, oh man, I gotta work hard to go to those kind of things. And of course, it does take work to become a great musician. That's you can't argue with that. That's a fact. Like you have to really understand, like,
you have to be prepared when you're performing.
Great
you
word.
Can't just show up and just wing it. I mean,
you can and learn the hard way. Yeah,
I might have done that before when I forgot some lyrics on my song and wrote a whole new verse on my song that wasn't even there.
The unreleased version.
And the unreleased version, like, literally just lost a part of my song while performing in front of like 400 people. And like part of me internally, there's the sense of panic of be like, I knew this song like the back of my hand, like I just knew this song, like practiced it a million times before I went up on stage.
I could do it in my sleep.
Got up there and like as soon as I got to the, like I was feeling it, but the nerves being in front of that many people is definitely a lot. And like as long as you're enjoying doing what you do, you can wing it. Not great advice, not saying to wing it on performances, but I've done it and it has worked out in my favor. And afterwards, I even asked a few people that recorded. I said, "You got a video of that? I want to hear that verse because I'm gonna write that into the song." Because it was that good that I was just like, it was almost better than the actual verse that I had written.
You got a pen and paper. What'd I say?
What did
I say?
What did I say?
Dude, 400 people is a lot of people. I've never played for that many people, by the way. That's awesome.
My biggest performance I did about, I think it was 2 performances. No. A few performances in front of around 300 to 400 people. Mainly at my school, just like everybody, families, students,
Close
everybody,
the community, yeah.
Coaches, stuff like that, or teachers. And then I did one performance that had all those people, and also a lot of outside people that were just community people who wanted to come support and heard that there's live music and stuff. And then the venue sold out all 600 seats. And when they told me that right before I was showing up to perform, I grabbed my guitar and I was showing up and everything. And then my one of my teachers goes, "Hey, Yasha, I just want to let you know, like, not to pressure you or not to make you nervous, but this is completely sold out venue and there's 600 seats. So just take a deep breath when you get up there. Close your eyes, get in your rhythm, and just own it. just own it." He's like, "I know you got it, own it." And right before I was about to perform, I just remember all the fear came to me, and I was like almost shaking, like grabbing my guitar.
It's excitement though. That's all it was.
I was like, "I need more water." I was like, I'm so shaky, like I was that nervous. And then one of my friends gave me one of the best intros, and just like, "Yasha, he's this amazing guy," and just he really built me up, and then all those nerves kind of just vanished, and I was like, you know what, he's right, I got this. And I like closed my eyes, and without even looking at my guitar, just started playing right on the right chord and just started getting my rhythm. Opened my eyes, saw everybody, a light on me and everything, a spotlight. I was out on the stage, super nervous, and then all of a sudden, like nothing, and I had one of the best performances I think I ever had live.
Wow.
There in front of most people I've ever performed in front of, but just because I was able to get past that voice in my head that said I couldn't do it. It says, I'm here now. I am doing it.
Something I say when I go to work or just in general, we showed up. We gotta pull up.
We gotta show up.
We gotta do something now.
We
dude.
gotta show up.
You have to show up. You have to show up.
If it's your passion and you love doing it, take that extra step. Take that leap of faith. Get on a stage, even if it's for your 10 best friends or your 10 friends or family or something, yeah. Singing in front of, mom and dad or whatever. Because that's kind of how I started until, like I took a class, and then that class had about 20 students in it. And every Friday and Saturday, all the students had to perform a song they wrote for that whole week. Oh. So the whole week for that class, during those hours, you basically get a guitar, get a piano, drums, whatever instrument you want to play. Mm-hmm. And then they plug it into it, and they had a whole sound system, stage, and everything. And so you go up on the stage, your guitar, you go up, introduce yourself, and then introduce a little bit about your song, what you wrote. And then you go and then perform it, and you get like critique too, it was a little bit of both, but like most of the critiquing, was all building you up, or if there is something a little off, be like, like what could I have done better, and it was good, but yeah, at first 20 people was even nerve-wracking, I was scared, really scared. And then
I can only imagine
by the end of like my senior year, I went up on the stage, and I was like performing in front of the whole school. And I joined, I was in 2 different bands too. One, we did small little gigs here and there around town, whatever we wanted, or just at the house, kind of stuff. And then my other band, we actually did performances for like bigger performances at the school for like music events around town. And we also performed in front of the 600 people too as a band collectively.
Really?
After I performed solo, which I was kind of like, I like to perform with my band and then go out solo, but I think it worked out because, as soon as then I was with my band, I felt so comfortable,
You're already on
I was
stage.
like, I was already like, at that point, like once I finished the song solo, I was like, okay, now I feel like I've got so into it and I built that confidence and that level that I was like, I do have another song if anybody, wants to hear it. Like I was fully ready to keep it going. And then they're like, I didn't say it obviously because I got to respect other artists and their time, but we're
professionals.
Yeah, we're professionals.
We're professionals.
We're professionals and we know how it works, and stuff. But my band, we went up and we performed 3 to 5 songs, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. Because it was actually part of the set list. So it was like we needed to perform those songs and stuff. And I just remember the last song, I let loose on the guitar too. I sang, but I had the lead guitar solo for one of the songs, and we did a loop. And then I had the other guitarist doing a harmony power chords, like basically harmonizing with my guitar part, and then I soloed
Wow.
over it, and then I tried to sing as well on top of that,
The
and
solo and sing.
that was it was better than when we ever practiced it. It was like,
Yes, dude, you
it
love
just-
to hear that.
It was just one of those moments where afterwards you're just like adrenaline through your body, and you're like
You stay up
almost
all
like
night. You
almost
stay up
shaking,
all
but
night.
like not in a bad way. You're just like, wow, I'm gonna be talking about this all night. Like it was amazing.
My goodness, Yasha. Well, I wanted to add a couple of things to that, but thank you for sharing that, by the way. Dude, I did not know that whole story.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first time I've heard that story, so thank you for sharing it on the podcast, bro. What for me, man, I just took off my glasses whenever I'm in front of like an audience, whether it be one person or 10 people, and if I don't feel super comfortable, I just take off my glasses because I can't see shit. I can't see that far away. So I'm like, all right.
That's also a tactic I did when I performed, because I could see everybody with my glasses. So right before my performance backstage, I'd set my glasses somewhere. I would go out there and I'd be like, "Yep, I'm blind. I can't see you guys."
Put
And
on some
then,
shades. I can't see.
because I mean, everybody has their methods, right, of performing, and like some people say, like picture like they're all your family, or picture they're don't have clothes on. I've heard that a lot. I don't
Yeah.
understand it, because for me that would just make me feel weird in performing. That doesn't
Logically, yeah.
doesn't really help me mentally get over any barrier. It just kind of makes me feel strange while I'm performing, and then I'm thinking about that.
That's a good point.
So I just kind of like, when there's a lot of people, I just picture I'm in a room alone, just jamming with myself, just close my eyes, and I just kind of, so that way I don't get overwhelmed, kind of block out everybody who's there, so that way I can give them the best experience that I personally can at my best level.
That's amazing, Yasha. That's something to definitely learn from, because experiences like that, if people don't hear them, they don't like understand like at least the surface level. Because I mean, I won't understand exactly how you felt, obviously, but
Right.
I'll get some idea of like the intensity of what that moment was like. There's so many small moments in life that I think pass so fast. They're like, oh man, like I can't believe I did that. And when you do a big win like that, that's a big win in my opinion. That performance that you did, that's a huge win.
Oh, it felt massive, because I remember too, even a smaller performance of like 40 people, which was bigger than my class. It's a bit bigger of a performance, and I just remember I was so nervous for this performance, and this is back before I was more comfortable with performing. I was still scared, like really scared, And I remember I was performing a song, and I got so shaky and not believing in myself, and so nervous, and just like beating myself up the whole time, that I ended up just forgetting the lyrics and got so shaky that I kept missing stuff. And they say never stop a performance and apologize, but I did, because I was so like broken in my own self and beating myself up, and I just said sorry. And then I needed to take a second, and I said, took a lot of deep breaths, continued, finished it, didn't mess up the rest of it, luckily, and kind of got back into it. And then afterwards, I just remember the whole night, I was like, man, I'm just beating myself up. That was so terrible. I'm not proud of this, but like with that, you're always gonna, in order to win, you always have to fail at least once.
True.
And
That's very true.
that was one of my failures, I felt, but it was actually a success in the same time, because it made me more comfortable, it made me better, and it made me more motivated to make sure for my next performance that I was 100% ready.
Amen to that. That's awesome, bro. That's obviously, it sucks that you had like that moment that was like a bit of like a little bump in the road, right?
A little
and
tragic breakdown.
I'm glad you reminded me of the fact that you should never stop. You should never stop a performance. You should always keep going, because if you stop, that just signals. It makes the audience feels a little uncomfortable too, because if they see somebody that's like, oh man, I'm uncomfortable, they will like intuitively just think to themselves, oh man, that's uncomfortable. I wouldn't want to be up there.
And then they feel a little awkward too, because
Yeah.
they're like, this guy he's not figuring it out, and it's just kind of strange,
It's
and they
very
come there
rare.
to hear live music and performance, and somebody just performing, and when they
True.
can't quite do that, it's just not the same, but that's why you got to believe in yourself.
Make a gif out of that, guys. Make a gif out of that.
Believe in yourself.
Believe it.
Believe it. You better believe it, son.
Thank you,
Bang.
Yasha. Dude, that's awesome, man. Yeah, because if you don't believe, who's gonna believe for you? You know.
Exactly.
One thing I like to tell myself, and I tell like people that I care about, and I wish everybody success, of course, if they truly want it. You know, if people show that they are, you know, they're proving and they're indicating that they want success, I always, you know, give them more energy, more power, and I would always try to take something too, because I'm like, that's a lot of energy. Give me some of that energy. Give me some of that. Winners never quit, and quitters never win. That's the motto to go for it. You know,
make that a meme. Trending.
Please, like I remember that. That's what I keep in mind. Keep that in mind, guys. But of course, I'm just me. This is just from my own experience. This is the one and only Yasha Premio. I appreciate you for being on the podcast, Yasha. And thank you for sharing so much about this. How long do you think we've been We've been recording for 25 minutes, bro. This is the longest, one of the longest episodes I've had for a while.
Hey, chat, real quick. I just want to say this is my first podcast I've ever done. Shout out Raul.
Shout out #first podcast. Shout out me. Shout out me.
hashtag you.
Hashtag's even the thing anymore.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I was
But
just being silly.
Thank you. I don't know. We can keep going, but I think this is a good place to kind of like wrap things up. If it's okay with you.
Yeah. No,
I'll
agree.
ask you this last question. I ask all my guests this question, and it's just a fun question. Fun fact, actually, about the podcast. My first guest was with my mom. Actually, I had my mom actually was like, she's like, yeah, let's go to the park, let's go record, and I'm like, all right, let's go.
You're like, okay.
And I took my whole setup. I took my interface, my laptop, my mics.
Wow.
I took everything to the park, dude. So if you go back into my channel, like you'll find one of the first few episodes of the guest.
I would love to see that.
I'll send it to you, bro.
Send it to me, definitely.
And I asked all my guests this one question, and again, this is the end of the show, pretty much, guys. And again, I'm really grateful to be here as the owner and the host of this show. But I'm also just really grateful that you're here, Yasha. For reals, man. I'm glad you're here in San Diego safe, man.
Me too, yeah.
Since you've been doing a lot of traveling, I will give you a hypothetical question, since that will also include traveling. The question is, I told you at the beginning, you're in one of the first few groups to go to Mars, okay? You have one message to leave behind. Like you could take only a few things out to space, and you're going to start this voyage, and you can't go back to Earth. You have one message to leave behind. What is that message?
If you never try and explore, you'll never succeed.
Do you want to expand on that? Do you wish to add
Nope.
more to that?
No, I'm just kidding. No, actually,
perfect. Up to you.
like,
I mean,
if
you
you
never explore,
if
you
you
never
never
succeed.
chase your dreams and you never try to achieve something, you'll never see the success that could have become what you could have had. And by doing it, it's the only way you'll see success.
Thank you, Yasha. Thank you so much for that. Wow. I mean, it's very true. It's very true. No truer words were spoken tonight.
True.
You're the man, Yasha. I think this is a great place to end the show. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name again is Raul. This is the one and only Yasha Premio. Dude, Yasha, I love this man right here. This guy's been through a lot.
Yeah.
And we have more to go through. So,
Oh yeah.
all righty, guys. And if there's anything else, again, please follow Yasha. Follow his page. Follow him on social media. And
Yasha_Premio.
this is the first podcast for Yasha. Thank you, Yasha, again. Alrighty, guys. We're about to sign out. Leave a like and comment. Share the video. Subscribe. And as always, have an awesome life. Peace. Gone.